Hi guys, happy Monday. So I have a little project I want you guys to do today. If you get a few minutes, so that way you're ready for Tuesday whenever I see you back in person. So one of the things I wanted you to do today was to roll out your slab that you are actually going to be putting your mask onto, okay? Now, if you have something, it doesn't have to just be a slab. It could be a box, it could be a vase. You know, if you look at the directions, there's all kinds of stuff. But the easiest is to put it on a slab. So you're not stuck to this, but I wanted to show you what to do because there is a little bit of a process to it. First of all, you got to figure out what shape you want to do. So, you know, you don't have a template that you can use in my classroom, so we have to kind of look around your house. So plates are great, and if you have any plates that are kind of like different shapes, like I thought that's kind of an interesting one. A pan would work, a bowl would work. In general, you want them to be probably about 8 inches. Sorry, I'm just putting that down. Or bigger, probably bigger, because your masks are about 8 inches. So you need something a little bit bigger. So I have my mask here, so I'm gonna grab it and make sure that it will fit into this. And it does, it fits perfectly, okay? So that gives me a little bit of room to decorate and stuff like that, and I should be good. So next thing I'm gonna do is get your canvas, get your thickness sticks, and get whatever you're going to roll your clay out with. I think Frida or Becky or somebody was showing you different things that you can use. You can use, you know, like a soda bottle, a hydro flask, whipped cream, you know, anything that's kind of a cylinder shape that you can press against the clay. Okay, now how much clay? You're going to, you know, use your wire and cut off about 2 inches. So remember last time I had you cut off about this same amount, but I had you take off about that much for the mask. So we're going to try to have it a little bit bigger than your actual mask. So we need a little bit more clay. So again, this is about 2 inches thick, okay? And you're gonna use the whole piece this time. Okay, so I'm gonna pat it into a ball and I'm gonna wedge it a little bit. I'm not gonna wedge it a lot because I wanna try to get to the point for you guys so you can actually have some time to roll out your slab today. And once we've rolled out the slab too, I want you guys to, on your phone, put a timer for 20 minutes, not 20 minutes, sorry, 2 hours, and I want you to leave it out unbagged for 2 hours, but we'll get to that in a minute, okay? So just like normal, you're gonna wedge your clay. Again, it might take a little bit longer than normal because this thing tends to move around on you, and it's a bigger amount of clay, so that always makes it a little bit harder. In general, you wanna do this about 20 times or more. If you got someone that can hold the canvas for you or the material, that makes it a little bit easier. Keep it tight. Remember, you want that spiral. Okay, so that's close. Probably not exactly. I really want to do it a little bit more, but I'm going to go ahead and start. Okay, so just like before, we want to kind of pat it down and get it into that shape. So you got to decide, is it going to be a circle? Is it going to be a rectangle? What is it going to be? If you were going to use something like a rectangle, you could use just a piece of paper, construction paper or line paper, whatever you have at home, just something you could trace around. Something else I was thinking that you could do is you could use, like this is a box of brownies, like we could use maybe like trace one side of it and then add a little bit more and trace the other side on. And then you can make brownies when you're done. Okay, so it's really important, this one, you really have it going in a lot of different directions. Because you know how it is, if you just have that ball of clay and you just start rolling, you're gonna get a great big long rectangle. And it's probably not gonna be the shape that you want. And the point is to get this done the first time, not to have to do it several times. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start rolling. Again, remember that these are kind of different thickness, so you wanna make sure that you have them down, preferably this kind of thinner way, not up like that. Okay, because that's gonna be a 1/2 inch. And I'm gonna start rolling. And just like we did before, we want to make sure that we check the back. And also we're stretching it, okay? Give your sticks, or give your clay a little bit of room to grow. You don't want it right up against the stick. Okay. I'm gonna do it one more time. And just be checking the back for cracks. Try and keep this canvas as smooth as you can get, which is not easy to do. So I'm not sure if you can see this, but there is a little teeny tiny bump right here. That's an air bubble, because again, I didn't really wedge it really good. So I'm gonna wanna prick that, maybe with your toothpick or something. I just happen to have that pencil here, and smooth that out and make sure that there's no air bubbles, okay? So I was gonna use this pan. So I'm gonna see if I got it big enough. And I do, I've got it perfect. Okay, get my knife out. And I'm gonna cut this out. Now, just like when we're using the fettling knife, make sure that you have it straight up and down. You don't want it angled either way, because you'll get a funky cut. And you want it just kind of nice and straight up and down. And don't forget to wash your mom's pan and clean up any clay that got on the ground. You should have a drop cloth down. That'll make it so much easier for you. Or if you can just go outside when you're doing this. Because when you're just sculpting on it, I feel like you don't get too much of a mess. But when you're cutting and you got the bag of clay and all that out, it seems like there's kind of a big mess. Okay, so I can get rid of the pan now. A little part right here where the handle was that I couldn't cut, so I'm gonna finish cutting that. Remember, all these excess pieces of clay are very important. You want to keep those because you guys don't have a lot of clay. So we want to make sure that that will go back in the bag.